In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the brand new JND520, which is our tapestry frame maker, which has this beautiful opening out panel. And as you can see here, we've used this to do like an opening out, but then the panel in the middle. So beautiful 3D card and works so well. Here's the original one from the packaging that's been made just a little bit plain. And here I've got another sample from our Carol where she's kind of rolled it and stuck it in as if the paper's torn and opening. So brilliant things you can do just using the dies within this set. So let's see how we make this card. So to make that beautiful fold out section, we're going to use the JND520, which is the tapestry frame maker. And it gives you a basic frame maker that's 5 3/8 inches, which is a beautiful plain frame and designed to fit perfectly on 6x6 cards and give those a really nice finish. But we're going to use this sort of center section. This has 4 beautiful panels that can be used with or without the center cutting section, and this center cutting section basically cuts you across in your paper, allowing you to peel it out. Here's another version of the card. This is the one from the packaging. You can see here how it curls out, and that's what we're going to make. So to start this, we're going to start with a piece of sort of mid-blue card from the soft blues cards pack, and we just want to put the frame maker on, tape it down and run that through and cut it. And we get a perfect frame just from doing that. Nice and simple, and this gives us our piece to kind of pin our sections onto, and it frames it nicely. You tend to find that when you have these peel out areas, if you just use them without a frame, it doesn't work quite as well somehow. So now we want to do is to create the background. So I'm going to use those panels in 2 ways. So starting with a piece of, again, this is the lightest blue from that light sort of soft blues card pack. So this has been cut to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, so that we get, so we can trim it down into place, which is what we'll actually do. And all you want to do is to take the 4 dies from the tapestry frame maker and adhere them together to give you that beautiful pattern in the center. So we just take all 4 of those and take a little bit of our low tack tape, put 2 together edge to edge and tape them. Number 3, again edge to edge and tape it down, and put number 4 in, again edge to edge, and you find there's a little gap. Just tape them together and simply add that to the center of your card, tape that down and run it through your die cutting machine, and that will give you a piece just like this. You can see here what I've done is I've taken the piece that falls away from the middle of cutting our frame, and I've simply adhered that down to the back so that we get that same colour coming through. So you could just go with like that sentiment across it and get a beautiful card, but we want that sort of little open out section. So to do that, we take a piece of card here, and I've cut this to 5 1/8 by 5 1/8 because I find that that's the best size to make sure that we fit it within the frame. You can chop off the back, but this piece really needs to be right. And what we want to do first is to place in the center our cross piece that will cut us the 4 panels, and then we're simply going to add in evenly our 4 panels just like this. So we're going to add those decorative panels in, and you can use other decorative panels that would fit. You can do this in plain card. It's great in card that actually has 2 colours in it. So if you have some card that's sort of different coloured size, sort of double-sided and different colour each side, it works perfectly. So just slide our last one in like that. Make sure they're nice and even, and that's all stuck down. And you simply run that through and cut that. And that will give you this piece here like this, where we get the pattern cut out, but you've got those 4 pieces. Now to roll these, I want quite a large roll on this, so I'm going to use my 4-in-1 tool and simply start at the point and roll that around and give it a good roll. I'm using coconut white essential card, which is perfect for this, as the weight just works perfectly. You see there, it curls perfectly. So I'm going to do the next one exactly the same. Place your 4-in-1 tool on and roll it round, and roll it a couple of times just to make sure you get that beautiful curl. You already see how nice that is just left as it is. It makes a beautiful, something different. Again, you could be revealing a picture underneath, you could be revealing a message underneath. So roll our third one, and then finally we're just going to roll our fourth one, just like that. And again, give it a good roll so that you've got 4 pieces that curl out perfectly. So now we want to start to build our card. So I'm going to start with the background and our piece. I'm going to take some foam tape so we get some depth and dimension in this. So again, just adding foam tape around the 4 edges. Try hard. It might be best actually to pop your foam tape on before you make your curl, but you can always recurl them. I always find the easiest way to do something once I've made a card 3 or 4 times. So just like that, we're going to reveal our tape. Just like that. And you want to perfectly match up the corners. So you're looking to almost match up the pattern as much as you can. So let's go around, get that in the right place. There we go. And we'll stick that down. And at this point then, trim away the excess blue. You can never guarantee to get things in the right place, exactly in the centre. So just going that little bit larger and trimming as you go along makes it that little bit easier. So we'll take those waste pieces away. And then we have our frame. And again, this time I've already loaded on some foam tape to this. So nice and simple. And we just want to go and frame our piece exactly. Just like that. So we've got that beautiful opening out. Again, if any area shows through, just take your scissors and undercut off. There we go. What we want to do is to pin our pieces down to the frame. So to do that, I'm going to take a little bit of our normal Craft Artist Super Tacky glue and just pop that on the end of each piece. Just like that. What you then want to do is just to smear that glue a little bit. So we're reducing the amount of glue and we're increasing the surface area. So make sure you wipe your fingers off. And then we're going to hold and put our piece down and then just hold it and sort of, I would say wodge it, but move it a little bit just to make sure it's nice and stuck down. So, and you want to stop it doing what it's just done there, which is popping off. So it doesn't take a couple of minutes. It's about sort of 30 seconds for it to really sort of settle and go off. So just going to move that next piece. And we are going to secure them down. There we go, third one. And I'm just going to do the fourth one here, like that. So we've got that beautiful opening up section like that. And you just want to hold it, just make sure they're nicely sort of stuck down. And then that one obviously needs a little bit more glue. So I'll show you again. We'll take a little bit of glue and you want to smear it around. And that's increasing the surface area. And the more surface area there is to glue, the more it will stick down. We've got our beautiful pieces and hold it, just really to let it dry. And then I'm just going to take some stick-on pearls. So I'm using our Craft Artist stick-on pearls and I'm going to use the larger ones. And what I want to do is just secure each of those points. So I'm going over a quarter of the point that's glued down and then the sort of 3/4 is onto the frame, and that helps to keep it there. Once the glue's gone off, that's it, it's stuck and fixed. But there we go, just like that. And then I've got a larger card blank here that I've cut to 7x7. Although, as I said, this frame would work perfectly on a 6x6 as well. So I don't want to crush the front, so add some glue onto the back of the card blank, just like that. And we'll frame that up nicely. And then I've made, using the press cut PCD 204 squares, which are the perfect size for this, I've made a little 2-inch and then a 1 3/4 inch square, stamped my sentiment on the 1 3/4 inch square in white. And I'm just going to add that into the centre there. And then I've just got a couple of flowers that I've cut in that beautiful lilac coordinations card as well, which we can add on to each side, or we can add on at each point. I think I'm just going to add one on each side, just with one leaf, as per the original card. So a little bit of glue onto each leaf, and we have those coming out from that little explosion. There we go. And have that coming out again from that little explosion. And then just take a little bit of the 3D glue gel onto the back of our flower and add it onto our point. And there we have a beautiful fold out card with lots of depth and dimension. And you could twist all sorts of leaves and things in there, but it shows you the basic technique and how we make sure they're completely stuck down. For more ideas, hints, tips and inspiration, why not have a look at us on Facebook on John Next Door Official.